So now let's fast forward a few years, and at the, I can't remember when it was, bugger. Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's vlog, all about how clothes now contribute massively to my gender euphoria. But first, let me take you down memory lane of my historical relationship with clothes. When I was younger, I knew from a really young age what clothes I liked and definitely what clothes I didn't like. No pink, no frills, no lacy bits, no sparkly bits, none of that. I even really disliked strappy tops. I remember once wearing one when I was probably about 8 in Florida, and it was really hot. And so my mum bought me this strappy top and I wore it one day and I just felt kind of icky. It's the only way I can explain it. All I wanted to wear were plain t-shirts or football t-shirts. When I was younger, I was really big into football. It was the main sport that I played and followed. And just plain shorts, jeans or trousers. But of course, at times I was forced into dresses, and this here is a photo from me at my first Holy Communion. I was raised in a Catholic family, which I will tell you a bit more another time. And at the time, I felt as if I really sort of enjoyed the ritual of getting dressed up. But I also kind of felt this sort of outer body experience of not being who I truly was and feeling as if I had to park that person and put on this facade of being another person. And I think that was kind of the start of my experience of feeling as if I was pretending. Then I got into my teen years and I became a massive emo, and I loved that part of my life in terms of emo music, culture, and of course clothes. Not only did I not have to dye my hair black, because naturally it's quite dark, so I didn't have to deal with roots in my teens, which was great. Although actually later on in my teens I did dye my hair blonde and had to deal with my roots then. But again, that's a story for another time. You can judge me for that later on. But in hindsight, what I can see now is that I really found comfort in the clothes that I was wearing, in terms of I could wear a black and white hoodie, it could be a men's or women's hoodie, no one would know. I could wear a black studded belt, I could wear band t-shirts, and they'd all be unisex pretty much. In fact, a lot of the guys that I hung out with, they used to wear jeans skinnier than I did. And that whole community of people and the way that we dressed just made me feel so much more comfortable in my own skin for that period of time in my life. And then as I started to get into my early 20s, you could argue I started to assimilate in terms of I sort of left the emo look behind, although I will make sure that I say that the emo phase is not a phase. If you ever find yourself on elder emo TikTok, oh, it is the best. I still love everything about it. But in my early 20s, I decided that I would try to grow my hair longer and wear women's clothes and sort of see how that felt, I suppose. And I guess a part of me was really craving to feel like I could fit in. But I started to find it easier to find clothes in the women's section as an adult as opposed to when I was a kid, because I could find a lot of plain clothes that I didn't mind wearing. And really, I also was very lucky in the sense that I'm naturally slim. So a lot of the clothes that I could find in high street stores actually kind of fitted me quite nicely. So I spent a number of years, sort of wearing plainer women's clothes that I felt, somewhat comfortable in. And then I remember a friend of mine asked me to help him put together a Pinterest board of clothes because he was trying to change up his wardrobe and just wanted to come up with some new ideas of new clothes that he could buy. I started helping him because I already had this inkling that I would really enjoy it, and we're really good friends, so it just made sense that we would maybe sort of double team and see what clothes we could find him that he would like. And what I didn't anticipate was that I loved that process. I loved it. It really started to highlight to me how much I loved men's clothing. In particular, men's sartorial clothing. Just really well-dressed suits and smart casual wear, and I just absolutely loved finding all of these different outfits for my friend, but that I also wanted to wear. And at the time also, the show Peaky Blinders had just come out. I know now it's almost kind of old news to dress like a Peaky Blinder, but at the time I was blown away by the show in terms of cinematography, but also the clothes and the outfits that the men got to wear in the show. And I really registered this sort of almost jealousy in me. And you know, they say that jealousy can be a good thing. It can really show you what it is that you want. And I wanted to wear these clothes. I wanted to see myself in a really well-fitting suit that I felt really confident in, which then takes me to weddings, because weddings are a place where you can really get as dressed up as you like. And for me, I really wanted to be able to do that, to attend my friends' weddings. But I found myself in this struggle between wanting to wear a really well-fitting, well-designed suit and feeling as if I couldn't. So inevitably in my 20s, I found myself attending a number of weddings for my friends getting married, and it used to fill me with huge anxiety. I would have no idea what to wear, and I couldn't feel excited for this person's wedding because I was too self-conscious about how I would look and how I would feel and how other people would perceive me. And I tried it a few times where I would wear a dress and heels, and I just went right back to that experience of being 7 at my first Holy Communion and feeling like an imposter of myself. I wasn't even a fraction of myself in that clothing, and I was just pretending to be someone. I also found it really jarring when people would tell me that I looked really good in a dress, because then I'd be like, but I don't think I want to look good in a dress. So I just found myself in this huge conflict around clothes for weddings, and I found myself turning down going to weddings because I just didn't want to face the dilemma of what to wear. So now let's fast forward a few years to September 2020, and this was me at my girlfriend's best friend's wedding, all dressed up in a suit that took me months to piece together. So by this time I'd already come out as trans, and one of the best bits about this suit was my transgender tie clip that I managed to get in time. I loved that as an accessory on the suit. And I know it sounds excessive to say that it took me months to piece a suit together, but this was the very first suit to a wedding that I was going to wear that would hopefully make me feel confident and truer to myself. So I wanted to put that time in, and I was getting a lot of joy and excitement out of it. I got so many compliments on the suit on the day, and even though there was still a slight bit of anxiety and self-consciousness around the fact that I was so early in my transgender journey at the time, I wasn't on testosterone yet, and so a lot of people probably just saw me as a really masculine woman. But for me, it was this huge step in terms of being able to overcome this thing around weddings and wearing clothes to a wedding around a whole heap of people that I'd never met before. That was a real leap forward for me. And that really was the start of where I only started to wear clothes that I really, really wanted to wear. Which brings me onto today and the clothes that I'm wearing, and telling you a bit more about where I go to buy my clothes and the feeling that it gives me. So now I found myself in what I think is a really fortunate position where I can now buy clothes from charity shops. I've always wanted to be able to do that. I've always thought that that's a really cool thing to do, but I've never been able to find clothes that I've liked from a charity shop. I've always sort of marvelled people who've gone into a charity shop and said, oh, there's loads here, and I'm like, really? But now I found that because I'm shopping in the men's section, there are loads of clothes that I really like, and they're all, you know, £3, £4, £5. So not only am I getting myself a bargain, but I'm also donating to charity. So it just seems like a win-win situation. This shirt here that I'm wearing, this was a charity shop find for, I've got the tag here, where did I put it? Oh, here it is. I got it for £3.99 from Age UK. I've got some other tops here that I bought recently too. So this one Oh, it's like super thick, really nice. I need to start wearing it soon because we're coming into spring, so the cold weather's gonna pass soon. But this I got for £3.50. Then I got this t-shirt, which cost me £3.49. And finally this Rohan top, which I thought would be ace for, yeah, like spring evenings or going out climbing. Be a great climbing top. This was £3.99 as well. So yeah, I'm just finding that I can find so many clothes now that I'm shopping in the section of a shop that I've always wanted to shop in. I know this brings up the argument of why do we gender clothes in a shop anyway, and particularly in terms of calling them, you know, men's and women's clothes. In terms of my experience, because I identify so strongly as male, being able to shop in the men's department for me brings so much gender euphoria at the moment. I almost kind of feel like it solidifies how I feel about myself, because for 30 plus years I have wanted to do this, and only now do I feel like I've been afforded the freedom and the luxury to be able to do it. So for me it's still novel, and whilst it's terrible for my wallet it's been so good for my feelings of gender euphoria, and as I said, just really solidifying how I identify on the inside with how I can curate how I look on the outside. So that's it. That is my current journey all the way up to the present day of my journey with clothes, and I'm just so grateful that I'm now finally in a place where I can wear the clothes that I want to wear. And I genuinely do just wish this experience of feeling confident and aligned with your clothing for everyone. So please do let me know your experience. Let me know what's the one outfit that makes you feel on top of the world and like the best version of yourself. Please do write it in the comments below. I'd love to check it out. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back with another video all about another part of my life that gives me gender euphoria, because whilst this journey is wild beyond belief, it's also hugely positive. So yeah, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.